Hello and welcome to Palindrome ASMR. So, I've been kind of sick lately. I think it was because I was drinking way too much soda. I drink a ton of soda, like 8 cans a day. And my sickness was just nausea for a couple of days, and it was after I went on an especially horrific soda binge. And while I'm pretty sure soda really wasn't the cause of my sickness, it may have been a factor in my sickness. I think it was an ear infection, actually. That's what I think it was, but I don't think it's a coincidence that I've been really pounding the soda lately. I mean, I drank so much soda. You know, I wake up and I immediately pound down like 5 cans. And then for the rest of the day, I'm drinking steadily. I'm like a far gone alcoholic. I'm like an alcoholic when it comes to my soda. I just don't care. Soda is surprisingly cheap. It's like $4 for 12 cans. But when I drink it as much as I do, when you drink as much soda as I do, it starts getting not very cheap at all. So, Benj N, that's how the name's spelled. It's Benj with an M and an N. I think that's a very clever trick. I didn't recognize it until I actually said it to myself, but it's Benj and then the letter M and then the letter N. And it's Benjamin. I think that's on the same level as like skate with an 8, which I still find funny. Reminds me of Homestuck. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, he was asked, I don't know, he or she, sorry if I assumed your gender, they asked me about astral projection, and the topic of the video was somewhat on lucid dreaming, and so I got asked about astral projection and what do I think of astral projection. I want to add here that if you have any topics you want me to cover and anything you want me to speak about, anything at all, ask me a question, say, hey, this would be interesting to talk about. Anything under the sun that's not X-rated or anything. No X-rated content. But astral projection, I have a little bit of experience with astral projection. Okay, well, I think from what I know, there are astral projection, I interpret that as either projecting into the outer world or projecting into the inner world. So you can try to project yourself out into the outer world and see things with your mind's eye, or you can project yourself into this rich inner sanctum. I don't know if that qualifies as astral projection, but And I may be completely misinterpreting what was meant by that entirely. I didn't look it up before talking about it. I just sort of assumed that it was what I thought it was. Oh gosh. That's gross. I don't want to show this to you because I just opened this up and it's really gross. This is, by the way, good old apricot face scrub for acne. So, with astral projection, recently I've been trying to see the contents of my mailbox before I get home so that I can see if there's a letter in there. And I don't know why I started this. I saw a video on YouTube where a renowned or a guy with a PhD was talking about how it's possible to see locations using your mind's eye, and it's possible to locate things using this thought projection, this astral projection. And I thought, I want to try some of that. It hasn't worked yet. Several times I've thought there was something inside of my mailbox, but when I get home and check it, there's nothing in there. So, well, it's a PO box, but oh, and if anyone wants to send me mail, I don't know why you would want to send me any mail, but just ask and I'll start posting my PO box. It's a PO box because I live in a trailer and there is no mailbox here. So, yeah, astral projection. I think I don't personally disbelieve it, but I don't personally believe it either. It's sort of in that agnostic range where I wouldn't be surprised if it were true, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't true. That's actually I think it's a very good stance to have on any topic that has no readily available accepted truth. Holding the stance where you wouldn't be surprised if it were true, and you wouldn't be surprised if it weren't true. That is the true stance of an agnostic. And agnosticism doesn't really, agnosticism isn't just a religious concept. It applies to anything which can be denied without the burden of proof. So, if it's possible to deny something without being immediately proven wrong, that thing is true, then it is possible to hold an agnostic belief about that thing. And it is my belief that is, at least at the back of your mind, the best way to handle belief is to always know that it's possible that what you believe can be wrong. Even if you're a true devout believer, I think it's best to hold the attitude where you won't be whacked over the head with surprise when you die and find out that things aren't as you imagine them. It's like the opposite of Pascal's wager. So, Pascal's wager says that the best thing to do is to believe in God, because if you believe in God and you die and God is real, you go to heaven. If you believe in God and die and God is not real, nothing happens. It is the same as if you did not believe in God in the first place. That is Pascal's wager. In theory, it is very wise, but in practice, it is a little bit... It doesn't work out too well in practice, because it's not a lossless endeavor. Believing in God does not come without a cost, which is assumed at the beginning of Pascal's wager, that believing in God does not come with a cost. It does come with a cost, and that cost can be at the extreme your life, and it can be at the most tame a restriction of free thought. Even if you are a devout believer, your thought is restricted. You can't deny that your thinking and your actions are restricted because of your belief. Like, you cannot believe, because if you are a Christian, you cannot believe in spirits. You cannot believe in spirits and still be a Christian. By faith, by definition, religion is a restriction of your belief. You restrict yourself to believing certain things and not believing others. And if you start believing those other things, you are no longer part of that religion, or you are no longer a true part of that religion. And so Pascal's wager is not a... It's a good argument to make in a conversation, but it is not a good argument to test. There are too many problems with it. I forget my point. I forget what my point was. I think you have been... Alright, let's use another. I used to be a believer in Pascal's wager back when I was still a Christian in anything other than belief. And right now I am a very confused person spiritually because of my experiences. I mean, like, yesterday I comprehended infinity while floating on top of the sea of the endless stretch of time. That's what I was doing. I was sitting at a McDonald's having a major, but major in effect, minor in duration, break with the traditional mode of consciousness. So yesterday, I was sitting at a McDonald's when all of a sudden, it's not like I was punched by God, but more like God slowly inserted a needle into my head that let out all of my brains, and my brains were leaking out all over infinity. Very much like an LSD trip, but without any LSD. I think Terence McKenna sums it up best, who he got the quote from someone else, but Terence McKenna is who I got this quote from. LSD is a hallucinogenic drug which causes symptoms in people who did not take it. And so, well, this wasn't so much an LSD, well, yeah, no. It was the kind of realization you would have while on LSD. Not that I would know. I have never taken LSD or any other hallucinogenic drug or any other illegal drug. I simply have a natural trip switch. And if I get into a stressful situation, about a day later, usually, I'll start tripping balls. So, whenever I just quit my job, and that was a stressful situation. And because of that, I spent a little bit of time tripping balls. But my medication kicked in after about, say, 15 minutes, and I came back down looking on my experience like, holy Jesus. If I wasn't on medication, I probably would have gone totally psychotic then. And that, at first I really hated taking medication, but now I realize that if I don't take my medication, I'm going to, at the very least, have a very expanded view of the universe. And when you have an expanded view of the universe, taking a test does not, and going to school and sleeping do not, they're secondary concerns when you are comprehending infinity. That's just the nature of things. That's why these monks go and meditate in a corner for hours and days and weeks and months. Because once you comprehend infinity, and when you are in the state of comprehending infinity, pretty much everything else becomes secondary. So that's what I was doing, and that's probably another reason why I got sick. Again, if you have any questions or any topics that you want me to talk about, ask away, and I'll do my best to address them. Oh, and I think it was Alec Ducasse asked me if I had ever played Fallout, and for some reason I can't reply to comments on any of my videos. It says comment failed to post whenever I try to post a comment. So no, I have not ever played the Fallout series, any of them, although I am aware of them. I have played Skyrim, but I was never a big AAA gamer. I don't usually play AAA games, though I enjoy them. I don't usually play them because I'm off playing my niche strategy games that no one plays. Like one really fun game that I found on Steam recently is called Factorio, and it's all about building factories. It's really fun. It's quite a time sink, and once your factory crosses a certain threshold, it's like you can't even understand how it works anymore. It's just this sea of conveyor belts and assemblers and buttons and arms and cranes, and yeah, it's really fun. The only big AAA game that I really played and on console was Halo, the Halo series. That was the only series, the only AAA video game series that I really got into, was the Halo series. And mostly because of Forge, the Halo Forge. That's what I played Halo for. Not the shooting, but the level building. I played Halo for the Halo Forge. I think that's it for today. My lights have started acting up and are now ringing. If you can hear, I hope you can't hear. But thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, you're amazing. Pew, bam, bam. You do that whole cool dude shoot, bam. I can do a snap gun. Pew. I hope that wasn't too loud and abrupt, but thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll be up with another video. Thank you for watching again, and thanks. I'll catch you on the other side.